Welcome to Mrs. Nightmare. There isn't a place where you're quite as vulnerable as in the shower. You're locked in a small room naked. You close your eyes for a few seconds to wash your face and hesitate to open them. As silly as it sounds, you fear what could appear in front of you. And in some cases like mine, you can't see well because you've taken your glasses off. This was a daily routine, such a routine in fact that I sometimes forget that I've done it at all. As I turn the water off, the cold air rushes to chill my skin. The calm voice playing from my phone speaker becomes more clear. I enjoy listening to chilling stories while getting ready in the morning. I pull the lavender shower curtain back from the wall just enough to fit my hand through. I reach for the towel that was hanging there, but my hand meets an empty towel hook. Confused, I pull the curtain back a few more inches to get a better look. With my limited vision, I see a blurry, white towel-shaped blob on the floor under the hook. Just as I suspected, it must have fallen off after I entered the shower. I reach down to grab the towel and notice something unfamiliar in the corner of my eye. I look up and clutch the towel to my chest in shock. What my poor eyes see, standing in my bathroom, is a tall, humanoid shadow. I freeze, and my breathing becomes shallow as I stare at the figure. After squinting my eyes to get a better look, I notice that the shadow is facing the mirror with its back towards me. Slightly relieved, I frantically rack my brain for a plan. I'm standing here, butt naked and blind, with a monster between me and the only exit. As I stand there pondering, I notice the only sound in the room, the calm voice that has been reading a creepy story to me this whole time. With a sharp inhale, I remember the title of the story, The Bloody Mary Ritual. No, it can't be possible. The video I was listening to actually summoned Bloody Mary, and now she's standing in my bathroom mere inches away from me? With trembling hands, I wrap the towel around my body and hug myself in fear. The low, soothing voice soon ceases as the story ends. I'm soon enveloped in the silence. I look around me for any means of escape. Shampoo bottle, bar of soap, scrubby. Useless, useless, and useless. I can't sit here forever. I need to take action. Maybe she can't touch me. Maybe she can't even hear or see me. She isn't any more than a shadow. Yeah, just an apparition. I continued to reassure myself as I curled my shaky fingers around the edge of the curtain once more. Gently, I pulled back the curtain and peered out from behind it. To my surprise, the bathroom was empty. I quickly stepped out of the shower and rushed to the sink where my glasses rested. Now that I was alone, I took a few deep breaths and collected myself. It wasn't real, I told myself. I looked up into the steamy mirror in front of me. Behind me was the wretched shadow from before. I could make out her features now that I had my glasses. I stood petrified while our eyes locked in the mirror. Her hair was matted to her face in wiry strands. Her face glistened like it was wet. Her eyes lacked pupils, completely covered in a milky white color. Her lips curled into a smile as we continued our staring contest. I was afraid to break eye contact until I felt a freezing hand on my shoulder. My skin crawled and my stomach sank. My eyes darted to the image of her hand in the mirror. Then something else caught my eye. The phone laying face up next to the sink. An image of a paused video was displayed on the screen. The video was titled Bloody Mary Ritual, Summon and Banish. The story didn't end, it was paused. She must have known what was coming and figured out how to stop the story before she was sent away. My hand twitched in the direction of my phone in an attempt to play the video. However, I hesitated. What would she do to me if I tried to move? More importantly, what could she do to me? This could be my only chance. I had to do it. I bit my lip and swiftly pressed the play button on the screen. The soft voice resumed with the second half of the ritual. I reluctantly moved my gaze back to the apparition's face in the mirror. Her smile had vanished. Instead, her gritted teeth were flashing at me like she was about to scream. As soon as I noticed this, her fingers dug into the flesh of my shoulder. I yelped in pain and frantically tried to pry her hand off of me. She growled, with a low, inhuman voice, before both of our slimy hands clasped around my neck. Now I was working to peel her off of my neck, all while gasping for air. She had an incredibly strong grip for an apparition. I wriggled and lashed around, trying to shake her off of me. The man's cool voice echoed in the room, conflicting with the tension of the situation. As he read the story, Bloody Mary got weaker. But as time went on, with my windpipe crushed under her frozen hands, I grew weak as well. How much longer until the story is over, I thought. I could feel my body becoming heavier as her grip became more desperate. We both tried to outlast each other. I tried clawing at her face to throw her off, which only enraged her even more. The man began to conclude the ritual, and I couldn't hold myself up any longer. As the video ended, I fell limp and crashed to the floor. Before my vision was entirely consumed by darkness, I witnessed the shadowy figure get sucked into the mirror. She screamed and knocked my phone off the sink before she vanished for good. I breathed my last raspy sigh of relief before passing out completely. I came to and sat up on the bathroom floor. How long had it been? I stood up and looked at myself in a strangely unfamiliar mirror. What I saw nearly caused me to fall back to the floor. My wet hair was matted to my shadowy face, and my eyes were completely white. I looked around in confusion at the foreign bathroom and noticed a figure in the corner of my eye. A person peered at me from behind a shower curtain. They looked terrified at the sight of me. What the hell? How dare they summon me and act so surprised? Well, they're not getting rid of me so soon.